Hey, welcome back, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about somebody that is currently being sued by Toddy Westbrook. Yes, that Toddy. This person has literally been in the DMs and caused trouble with so many commentary channels, it's absolutely ridiculous, including myself. This video won't be really talking about the big lawsuit, but rather my personal experience with this person and their inappropriate comments. This is going to add a lot of context to the character of this person and give you an idea of just how problematic this person is, if you're unfamiliar. Katie Joy, known as Without a Crystal Ball on YouTube, makes commentary videos where she searches for anything from said person's past, no matter if it merits truth or context, and then proceeds to use it for clicks and views. But it's been catching up to her, as she's currently being sued by Toddy Westbrook for very inappropriately searching through her husband's and their family's past on the internet.
I was doing research, you guys. Research, I tell you. Remember how I told you I was going to try to do something where I exposed Toddy Westbrook? And I've been doing this for 2 days straight now. 2 days, thinking I would find something. So when I started digging into her background, and I have looked all over the place, you guys, everywhere. Found like some unemployment stuff where she had a judgment for not paying off her unemployment, a bunch of like tax liens, some business judgments. This is the funny thing, you guys. So I use several different searches when I look through things, and I do email searches, I do business searches, I do all of this as a part of my work. But it was funny. I initially pulled up their information on a site called, which is just a regular, like, it's a very basic background check. It doesn't have everything. You know, it's just, it was completely gone, completely scrubbed from their website, gone. Like, she did not exist. And then when you go to her mother's page or her sister's pages, who are all still there, they're all like, she doesn't exist as a part of their family anymore. But I don't really know why, and I haven't really been able to figure out why. I mean, maybe it's that she doesn't want people to know about those liens. Maybe she doesn't want people to know what her real name is. Maybe she doesn't want people to know her address, but her address is online too. So still trying to look for her dad, and I can't find anything, you guys, nothing. So then I thought her dad was dead. So then I go onto her website, and I find a video where she bought her dad a house this year. The weird thing is that her dad doesn't have any work history, like no work history. So I feel like there's a story here with her dad, and I'm not sure what it is.
Well, a couple things stuck out to me there. Number one being, it sounds a lot like doxing. It really all comes down to context with this stuff, and it doesn't just mean putting numbers and addresses out there. It can mean where to find the information and in which way it's being used. In this case, I think it's hard to argue that there was no malicious intent here. Considering the majority of this was released on a blog website, where that website then removed her from ever posting again. Now, this is something that was actually in the lawsuit between her and Toddy, where the website's name was Pathos, and it was a religious Christian blog that she was supposed to post religious Christian stuff on. But she was actually let go in part due to improper conduct, including her propensity to maliciously publish false and misleading information about third parties in her posting. So she was using this Christian blog to post exposés on Toddy's husband, and their family. No. Also, she said for whatever reason, she was not able to find Toddy's personal information on the website she was using to look up said personal information. And I don't know if she realizes or understands that you can remove your information from these types of websites by just opting out with a couple clicks of the button. And a lot of time, often public figures do this to keep from being doxxed by people doing what she is doing. And it's pretty common knowledge. So clearly, this shows that Katie isn't as well researched as she lets on, or is purposely creating conspiracy for content. But like I said, I'm not going to go in depth on this lawsuit in this video, but I am going to put a couple of really good videos in the pinned comment. While you're there, might as well put some positivity turtles down there for good measure. She also lies quite a bit. For example, there was a situation with a 9-year-old girl named Sophie Long who came out with allegations of sexual abuse against her mother's boyfriend, sparking the hashtag #IStandWithSophie. Katie said in a live stream that Sophie was a brat and seemed to imply that she was a liar.
She was just being a brat and wanted to stay with her dad. Part of me thought she was just being bratty. Like, she would just go from crying to fine, and it reminded me of when my son pitches a fit.
Katie said on Twitter that this was false and that she did not say this. Now, she'll say that she's just reading a comment, but as public figures, we can see which comments that we should gate and just not speak on at all. And regardless, she did go on to say that part of her agrees that Sophie is a brat, and then doubled down in another live stream on why Sophie is a brat, implying that she is a liar.
It didn't seem authentic in that part. I was like, it's like a movie. Like, cause she was like, no. And then she's like running away and coming back. And I was like, this doesn't seem real. And then I did a live stream on my vlogs channel, which I'm on right now. And I was talking about how I'm a mom. I have an almost 8-year-old. And we were talking about how kids can get a little bit bratty when they don't get their way and they don't get what they want.
Of course they can.
Yeah. And so now I'm like, everyone's like, you called Sophie a brat. And I'm like, can kids not get bratty?
Now, this is very harmful to say about survivors, let alone a 9-year-old little girl in an open case. And this goes to show how careless Katie can be with the words that she says online. So my first experience with Katie was not good. I woke up to being bombarded with just a lot of people telling me I did this or I did that, all of which I had no idea what they were talking about. And as it turns out, Katie had straight up slandered me in one of her live streams, mistaking me for another creator altogether. It's also important to note that she tweeted things about me as well in attempts to double down and defend herself. And me assuming that she just made an honest mistake, I forgave her, not knowing anything about her. And she apologized and pinned a comment in her video, which I thought was weird because why in the world wouldn't she just take the video down? Because having a video with incorrect information up is not what you do. And a lot of times people don't even look at the pinned comments, so... Not too long after this was a situation involving a YouTuber named Sanders Kennedy where he created a fake story about Shane Dawson and baited survivors with fake information to make himself look like a great guy. I covered this situation in depth and had a one-on-one conversation with the dude and ended up calling the LA Police Department to try to attempt to figure out what was going on. This will also be in the pinned comment if you guys want to know more. Katie, without doing any research at all, decided she was going to run with this story and took Sanders Kennedy at his word at face value, equally attempting to make herself look like a hero, even having claimed to do her own research to verify the story. Me, along with other YouTubers like Augie RFC and Def Noodles, attempted several times to call and verify this information and came to the conclusion that it was a bogus story, which then Katie told me to tell Augie that she was going to sue him if he didn't stop digging deeper into this story, because I guess she felt like personally attacked, even though she was the one that was putting out the wrong information there and taking other people at face value.
When Katie reported on the story, to add more credibility to the claims that she was stating, she actually name-dropped the person who was reportedly in charge of the investigation, that being a Sergeant Payne. She added details to the story that even Sanders Kennedy himself, the person who first talked about this, who first noted this, didn't. And she did it in a way to gain more credibility for herself, the stories, and the claims. Even though, in her explanation as to why she reported this later, she claimed she was just parroting what Sanders had said, and according to her, she didn't do any further research, which I do believe. She did try to add more details to make it seem legitimate. She put out a tweet saying that if anyone had any more information or wanted to come forward against Shane Dawson, that they should call the department and speak to Sergeant Payne, which would have made the story seem a lot more valid. Had people not actually done what she told them to do, multiple people called the department and found out that not only was there no investigation on Shane Dawson, and that Sanders and Katie had lied, but the person Katie claimed was in charge of the case, Sergeant Payne, he had been retired for a number of years and didn't even work there.
As creators, we must verify these informations, and just because somebody else is putting something out there doesn't mean that it's wholeheartedly and 100% true. And this wasn't the first time that she's threatened to sue another YouTuber. In fact, I think she's currently suing another YouTuber on top of being sued by a YouTuber. And you might think, well, this is extremely hypocritical of her, and I would say you're very correct about that, as she is currently being sued for slander and defamatory accusations. So just right after she threatened to sue Augie, I was commenting on a Twitter thread about this situation, and then someone slapped down a video of her saying terrible things about sexual assault.
You know what I really look forward to? When I get old, I want to be the old grandma that actually harasses the young boys that walk by. I don't even care.
And as you know, I've been advocating for survivors most of this year, so I went straight to confront her about this. This is the conversation that followed. I said, what is the context of this video, and do you have the rest of it, because that is oof. She said, we were talking about being old. It was a joke. Like, are you out to get me? This is insane. Do you ever make jokes? I've never made jokes like that, and this isn't about content, nor am I engaging out of malice. I'm engaging out of my own shock and need to verify what this is about, as I advocate for sexual assault survivors, and it is never a joke. You should know this, and it shouldn't be doubled down on. Catcalling is what we were talking about. Whistling. Very poor words, and I hated to hear them. Well, I'm sorry. It was wrong word choice for sure, and I haven't said anything like that since. I was talking about old ladies flirting. I'm sorry for getting heated last night. I was beyond overwhelmed. I realized all of you were just trying to help. I'm going to just not engage with this. It's never okay to make fun of people, just like it's never okay to make jokes about sexual assault, especially if you're a public figure. Remember in the first part where she defended herself by saying she was just joking, and in the second part she attempts to take accountability and admits that she was wrong? Well, I mean, which one is it? Because are you sticking to your guns, or are you taking accountability? Because you can't do both. And lastly is her apology. And this is actually her apologizing to me for just being generally just hateful, and also to Augie RFC for threatening to sue him. One of the biggest reasons I made this video was to show you and Katie that her actions online have not been acceptable and that there needs to be a change. See, because true accountability makes for really good character. So no, I don't think that she needs canceled, but only time will tell how she receives all of this criticism. I feel like it will either make or break what's left of her career. So what you've experienced here is literally the MO of Katie. Someone who does wrong, but is stuck in between the balance of going back and forth between taking accountability and feeling that she's completely and always right, only to end up apologizing for all that she's done wrong. Truly someone that operates without a crystal ball. And as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think, so why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and or interesting responses in the comment box below. That's just, I will see you in the next video. Man, that's quite the video. Quite the amount of things that are going on here. So my whole reason for making this video was just to add a little bit of context to the situation. Like I said, there is a big lawsuit going on. I might talk more about that going in depth later on. But like I said, in the pinned comment, there are going to be several videos that are going to shed a lot of light on that situation. People that know a lot more about that. I just wanted to get out my personal experience about it. Also want to thank my patrons. I really appreciate you guys for your continuous and ongoing support. And you can get your name too right here. If you would also like to become a patron on the channel, go over, check it out, see if it's something for you. Also, I'm turning DMs on my Instagram. We're currently about to hit 14,000 followers over there. I'd like to get to 16,000 by the end of the year. So if you need to talk to me, go over there. I will reply to you. That's my solemn promise. Just give me a couple days and I will get back to you, I promise. And follow my Twitch channel. The Twitch channel is going to be also in the pinned comment. So go over there and do that. When we get to 2,000, I think we're at 1,400. When we get to 2,000 followers, I'm going to do another cooking stream. Probably going to cook a bento box, but we might do a vote on it. I'm not 100% sure. I'll also take some suggestions about that. But that's just another way to show that you're repping if you're not repping your Greg. And how you do that, I'll give you a subscribe notification turn on, be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repsol community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. I feel like I'm hopped up on caffeine and I'm talking too fast. I don't know.